All right, welcome back to Soccer Matters on ESPN 97.5. We roll on here tonight. Hey, a quick word here for Lone Star Sports and Entertainment. We have to take notice of what we've got coming through Houston this summer. We've got Brazil, Mexico up in College Station at Kyle Field on the campus of Texas A&M. And we go into the Copa America, Mexico, Jamaica, Paraguay, Colombia. I know tickets are flying off the shelves for all these games. And then you got a knockout stage game, which could potentially be Argentina if they win their group in the Copa America. And then it's on to Inter Miami and Tigres. So ridiculous soccer content going through here. Get your tickets at lsse.net. There may be two Messi stops here. There is one for sure in August. There may be two. Lone Star Sports and Entertainment, lsse.net. Keeping with the international theme here, one of the great stories going on in Italy is Cesena, and I'm going to probably be corrected, have been promoted from Serie C to Serie B. This is a club that was founded 84 years ago and has American ownership. And one of those owners, John Aiello, joins me now. John, thank you so much for coming on. First of all, just congratulations on the promotion. What a remarkable moment for you, the club, and everybody in that city in Italy.
No, thanks so much, Glenn. Absolutely. We're really proud of the club, the coaches, the staff, the players, because they're the ones that made the reality. And also for the city and the fans. You know, this was a club with a storied history that played many years in Serie A. Had some incredible coaches like Marcello Lippi, coached the 2006 World Cup team in Italy. Had some incredible players like Sebastiano Rossi and Massimo Agostini, Massimo Ambrosini, real legends that have come through here. And I think it's really nice that, you know, after a period of difficulty, that the fans see their club, you know, restored back to at the very minimum level where they deserve to be. So we're really proud of that.
We often see American owners scrutinized very heavily. Some have done better things than others. Some have been smart enough to stay out of the soccer side of it. You, with Italian background and the understanding of the city, I'm assuming the first thing you do when you get into that environment is make sure that you earn the respect of the locals, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. And I think, you know, our recipe for success has been, you know, first and foremost, humility. You know, we did this together. A group of us and my partners have all contributed to this great success. And a lot of us are Italian Americans, so we share the passion and the history. Some people have other interests in sports teams and soccer teams that also share the passion. And I think we went there with, you know, sort of passion and humility and earned the respect through, you know, just hard work and, you know, investing in the team. And I think that the fans saw that and appreciated that. And they saw that the effort we were making, we didn't go there and start, you know, pushing people around or throwing our weight around, and, you know, really tried to be respectful to the culture and really tried to be respectful to the club itself. And really, we always say that we never see ourselves as owners, we see ourselves as custodians, right? Cesena existed before us and will exist after us. And I think, you know, expressing it like that to the fans, that we're just here as the custodians of this fantastic club, and we're just trying to restore it to the level that it really deserves to be. I think that kind of humility was really well received by the locals.
I love the words you're using, humility, passion, custodian. This is exceptional stuff here. Serie C to Serie B, Cesena. You've got your final game. I think it's against, is it Perugia? Sunday?
Yeah.
You're heading over there, so the celebration is going to begin, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we'll receive the trophy on Sunday. In addition, our coach Domenico Toscano is, you know, this is his fourth promotion from Serie C to Serie B. So this is an expert in knowing how to get teams up. He's actually gunning for the record. 96 points in a season is a record held by Catanzaro, which ironically established that record last year on their promotion from C to B, which they had a fantastic season. And our coach, Toscano, is very focused on achieving the record. So we'd like to win, establish that record, put ourselves next to Catanzaro in the record books, and then take that trophy and, you know, present that to the team and let the fans really enjoy, you know, the moment and be proud, you know, take pride in restoring the respectability and the competitiveness back to this great team. So we're really excited. And I think the fans really appreciate it, and the sponsors and everyone attached to the team, from the mayor even to the president of the region, Emilia Romagna, are very excited about our success.
He's John Aiello. He is one of the owners of Cesena, who has been promoted from Serie C to Serie B in Italy. This is a fantastic story. You and I talked yesterday about some of the youth development going on, the focus that you guys have on that, and the fact that there are some American players you have an eye on and bringing over to Italy.
Yeah, absolutely, Glenn. And ironically, we're going to celebrate a double promotion this year. Our first team being promoted to Serie B, but our Primavera, which is the U19 team, they also won their championship and will be promoted to Serie A. So our U19 team will be playing, with the likes of Milan and Juventus and Inter and Fiorentina, and that only sort of brightens the spotlight on our youth program. This season, on our first team, we had 6 under 21-year-old sort of regular way starters that were farmed through our youth academy, which in Italy, the Cesena Youth Academy, is very, very highly regarded. And it's produced some outstanding players, as I mentioned before. And the pathway for these young players, some of which have been with us since they're 9 years old, to actually grow up through the ranks and then end up being a star on the team, the likes of Christian Spendi, who scored over 20 goals this year, Tommaso Berti, who's turning heads in Italy, Matteo Francesconi, who's just a box-to-box midfielder. These guys are getting looks now from all the big Serie A teams. And again, it's a testament to the strength of our youth academy's reputation in the Romagna region, where we really are the team of that entire region. And we believe that with the promotion, both of the Primavera to A and with the first team to B, that we could open up the aperture in terms of recruiting also to Americans. We signed Jonathan Klinsmann. He's our goalkeeper. And we have a lot of hope in Jonathan in terms of being the future goalkeeper of Cesena. We recently assigned a Hungarian American to a Primavera contract. He's going to be the starting center back of our Primavera team next year. And we would like to explore a lot more recruiting, particularly given the American ownership in the United States. It certainly helps if the prospects have dual passports, i.e. EU and US passports, which many young players in America have. And so we're going to be using our scouting network and using some of the relationships we have with clubs here in the United States to see if we can find a pathway for American kids to come to Italy. I know that Venezia, which is also a group in Serie B owned by Americans, have had some luck with Tesseman and Gianluca Busio, both of whom were standout players for the U.S. men's national team, who are now playing with Venezia. So it's getting more common. Pulisic in Milan, Weston McKennie and Tim Weah over in Juventus. You're seeing more U.S.-based players coming over to Italy. Alexi Lalas was the first to do that way back when. I'll certainly remember him, and he was the first to make that move.
Yeah, was it Padova or Padova?
Yeah, he played in Padua, which is not too far from where Cesena is. So hopefully we can attract some U.S. talent as well, because the ability to play in Italy at that level, the training methods obviously are fantastic. The coaching methods, if you look around the world right now, some of the best coaches in the world, from Carlo Ancelotti to De Zerbi to Simone Inzaghi at Inter, the Italian methods and tactics have been revered for so many years, and I think American players in particular could really benefit from that. Not to mention what we like to call la dolce vita. I mean, living in Italy is lifestyle-wise is fantastic, and the region of Emilia-Romagna is one of the standout regions in Italy. It really does offer children just a great lifestyle.
He's John Aiello. He's one of the owners of Cesena, who have been promoted from Serie C to B. It's a big story. Club that's 84 years old. You heard some of the history with some of the great players John was mentioning. At what point does the light go off in your head? Okay, I want to be involved in ownership of a pro club. How you found this particular club? Obviously, your background is Italian American, you speak Italian, but maybe just take us a little bit into the story of how it all happens, because I mean, this is an incredible moment you're going to be a part of on Sunday to cap off everything that's been going on.
Yeah, Glenn, I think it really started with just, culture and passion. I've always been, passionate Italian American. Of course, soccer, calcio, as we say in Italy, is so much a part of the culture. And, as I was looking at making sort of a smaller personal investment in a club, I ended up switching jobs, which required me to take a garden leave. And my wife said, "How long do you have to be out?" I said, 18 months. And she said, "There's no way you're sticking around the house for 18 months. So what are you going to do?" Nevertheless, I found a project, and a friend of mine who knew I had some interesting clubs in Italy said, "I've heard about this team, Cesena. They were unfortunately back in 2017, they were bankrupted by a prior owner who was maybe mishandling the finances of the club. And these local business owners sort of rescued it out of bankruptcy. And these guys are looking for a partner. I can connect you with one of them." And I obviously knew about Cesena and the history, and I knew the region was great. And I called some friends who are in Italy, and they said, "Wow, that's a really beautiful club, great fan base, great region, beautiful stadium, great youth academy." And I connected with one of the former owners and started a dialogue, and one thing led to another, and got my brother and some of my other partners involved. And, they said, "Hey, if you're going to do it, and it's a passion project, let's do this together." And we sort of made the investment, and I split my time between New Jersey, where I currently live, and Cesena, particularly over the first 12 to 18 months when I was really involved in the operations of the club. And yeah, it just kind of grew from there. I can't tell you I had any master plan or that I thought I was going to be smarter than the next guy in terms of how to manage the club, but I had great partners, all of whom really put a lot of time, effort, and money into the club. And so it wasn't something that I did by myself. I had a great group, a great team around me, and we all consider ourselves equals in terms of, our input and management of the club. And so we came very close to promotion in the very first year. We kind of took a big deep breath over the summer, looked back at our mistakes and said, "Okay, we're going to give this another year. Let's learn from our mistakes. Where do we need to improve, both on the sporting side and on the financial and sort of operational side?" And we made some changes to how we were managing the club. We brought in a new sporting director, Fabio Artico, who was absolutely fantastic. We stuck with our coach, Toscano, to give him another year with this group of fantastic young players. We brought up and promoted some of these hungry, talented youth players, many of whom are from the region. They understand what it means to wear the jersey. They understand what that badge on their chest means to them. And they brought that passion and youthful energy and mixed in with some of our more experienced and expert players. We just really ran an amazing campaign this year, and wrapped up the championship with 4 games in hand, which obviously takes a little bit of the stress and the agita, as we like to say, off. But I'm really proud of everybody on the ground there, from the coaching staff all the way down to the folks that maintain the field, that take so much pride in taking care of our beautiful stadium and our beautiful pitch, to the youth academy trainers, to the folks in the office. It was really a remarkable team effort, and I couldn't be more proud to be associated with this group of individuals.
What I hear in here, John, and we're talking to John Aiello. Cesena has been promoted from Series C to Series B. This is an amazing story with John. But, all throughout this interview, I've heard the importance of respect, humility, understanding the locals. You've obviously, from players that play on the team to front office staff to coaching staff, the competitive side, the locals fully embedded in this club.
Yeah, it's definitely a we say sort of a part of the city. When you acquire an interest in a football club in Italy, it's like you acquired the church or the local monument. It doesn't really belong to you. It belongs to the city. It belongs to the fans, and you're just the custodian. Your job is to sort of manage this through periods of difficulty and periods of great success. It's very local. It means a lot to the people in the town. It means a lot to the sponsors, to the business owners, to the fans, and for the local kids. The reason we're so proud of having these young players that came through the youth academy up to the first team is it inspires another generation of kids where they can see a pathway. You know, if you're an 11, 12-year-old kid playing in our youth academy today, and you look at Tommaso Berti and Christian Spendi and his brother Steven Spendi, who was now at Empoli, and you look at Matteo Francesconi and these players that have come through the ranks, and now look at them. You know, they're on the first team, and now look at them. They're going to lift the trophy on Sunday, and now those same players are going to be playing in Serie B, looking up to the next level, to Serie A. If you're a young child playing in the youth academy, that's very inspiring. And I take great pride and really joy in the fact that those kids could be inspired again, as opposed to looking at a team that's, you know, that's fallen under hardship financially, is bankrupt, and they don't see the pathway. Now they see the pathway. And I think that has long-lasting effects in terms of recruiting, the kinds of players you recruit. You know, they want to know that they have a pathway. And I think I could look in the eyes of a parent, particularly say an American parent that's sending their kid over, and say, your child's going to be well looked after. There's a path here. You know, and I think getting that personalized attention and that sort of pathway, that's a big differentiator than, you know, if you've sent your kid over to a big club like a Milan or a Juventus or a Liverpool or Real Madrid, where they're competing against a humongous pool of talent. And while it's prestigious to be even called by any one of those teams, you have to think long term about where you could be most successful and where you can stand out. And I think you'll see in Italy, there are some storied youth academies, Atalanta being a huge case in point. Look at the success of Atalanta. That success in Atalanta really started with that phenomenal youth academy, which I still think is the best in Italy.
John, this is fascinating stuff. We could keep going on. We got to let you go, but listen, thank you so much. First off, I know you gave a lot of credit to a lot of other people, but a lot of credit to you and your ownership group, because you guys came in with the vision, the resources. It sounds like just an amazing story, the way you've done it, the way you've connected with the city, its people, its players. Fantastic. So I hope you have a great time on Sunday. We want to bring you back because we want to hear about the celebration Sunday and continue our discussion, because I think there's a lot more we could get into.
Well, thank you, Glenn. It's very kind of you. And, you know, it's great to be able to have this chat with you. And I'll definitely send you some pictures over on Sunday. And yeah, we're super excited about it. But thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it.
Please do. And I'll give a little thanks to my younger sister, Martha, who does some business with John and alerted me to John and Cesena's success. So this is how soccer world works, right, John?
Absolutely, Glenn. Absolutely. Be well and all the best.
All right. Thank you. That's John Aiello. We wrap it up in big style here tonight. What a celebration they're going to have. Cesena will be playing Perugia in their final game. That does it tonight for us on Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5. Get the podcast at Spotify, Apple, Google, right here at ESPN975.com. Also, big thank you to our sponsors, as always. Of course, our presenting sponsor, John Daspit and the Daspit Law Firm, Pitch 25, Hugh O'Connor's, Danish Inspirations, Modern Contemporary Furniture, LSSC.net, Lone Star Sports and Entertainment for your Copa America tickets. Big thank you to Lamont Brands. Get the Soccer Matters t-shirts over there. All the proceeds go to the 501c charity Snowdrop Foundation. That's LamontBrands.com, and Hugh O'Connor's Pub out on I-10 in the Marquee Entertainment Center. Plus, our great friends at Cactus Music, and our condolences to our great friend down there, Quinn Bishop, whose mom recently passed. That's it tonight for Soccer Matters, ESPN 97.5. Until next Monday night at 6 o'clock Central Time, remember, Soccer Matters.